Welcome back, sports fans. And today we're going to talk about Micheal Jordan, And a lot of people might not like this, but Micheal Jordan was not human, okay? The stuff that he was doing was not human. And to me, this is what I'm going to tell you. I think Micheal Jordan plotted his whole career. He just wasn't out there playing in the flow of the game. He wasn't doing that. I think he plotted ever since he came out of college to be the greatest basketball player of all time. It just didn't happen. It doesn't work like that. He wanted to be better than Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, all Dr. J, all these guys that came before him. He plotted to be better than all these guys. It just wasn't a coincidence that he was out there playing and it just happened like that. No. You could see what he did when he first came out of college. When he played like 9 scrimmage games against NBA players. It had Robert Parrish in there, Kevin McHale, Bird, Magic. I think Worthy was in there, Isaiah Thomas, these type of professionals that Jordan was playing against in scrimmage games before he went on to play in the Olympic Games. This was supposed to test the U.S. Basketball team to see how good they were going to be against international professional athletes. And many people who don't know, they might want to go back and check those games. They beat the hell out of these NBA players. Yes, Jordan did have lottery picks on his teams. I think Chris Mullin was on there. Who else was on there? Patrick Ewing was on there. It was a slew of guys that end up going in the first round, second round, that was on Jordan's teams. But what it just showed you, Jordan led the way the whole time. But what it showed you was that when Bird, Magic, and these type of guys, when they didn't have loaded teams, they couldn't beat Jordan. And they really, I think the butt whooping that amateur team put on the NBA professional teams, or the professional players, I don't think they like that. I don't think Bird, Isaiah, these type of guys, Magic, I don't think they was down for losing the way they did in, I think, like 9 games. So they couldn't wait to get back at Micheal Jordan once he came into the pros. And a lot of people, they don't understand that they're looking at this era right now. You play with what you had when you came into the league. You just didn't build no super team. And that's why a lot of people don't like LeBron, because he went and built a super team with, I would consider at the time, those were top 5 players in the league. Bosh, Wade, and LeBron. They were top 5 players in the league at that time. And the next year they even went out. No, it was 13. They went out and got Ray Allen, which it looked like it paid off, right? Because Allen hit that shot. But you played with your teammates. Maybe you picked up a free agent, something like that, but you just didn't go as a superstar. You didn't go leave your team and start a whole new team again and again. And that's why LeBron, he'll never be respected in many eyes as a top 10 player. Now, of course, they want to put him as top 5 right now because they're trying to sell the NBA. And as we all know, once you're out of sight and out of mind for a lot of these players, they're going to push you down for the next superstar. They compare him to Micheal Jordan. And that's how it's always been. And that's how it'll always be. They push Kareem down. They push Kobe down. They push Wilt down. So look where they got Tim Duncan. I mean, really. So Tim Duncan, you talk about LeBron being consistent and all this stuff. Tim Duncan was, I think, the most consistent player of all time as far as a career. So to me, when I look at this, and we're going to look at this, Micheal Jordan plotted and planned his whole career. If you look at some of the things he did in the '98 season, where he won all the awards, you can see he led his team in all these statistical categories as a franchise leader: points, assists, rebounds, steals. So I think the only guy who did that, what was LeBron? LeBron did that. And that's what I'm trying to say. We're not trying to say LeBron isn't a great player, but he just gets disqualified for running and running and running and running for help. You don't run for help. You're supposed to be making your teammates better. That's what Tim Duncan did. That's what Magic Johnson did. That's what a lot of great players did. Kobe Bryant. Yeah, Shaq kind of ran, but when he ran to the Lakers, he didn't run to a super team. Yeah, Kobe came, but Kobe was a bench player. Yeah, he ran to Miami, but that's already when they won a three-peat, and him and Kobe was beefing. So Shaq had already established himself as the so-called most dominant player ever, and what he did in that three-peat was incredible. So I want say he was going to build a super team. I don't think what they had was a super team. I think Gary Payton was on that team, was he? On that Miami 06 team? And they were all old. They were pretty much old. Gary Payton was old. I think Alonzo Mourning was on that team. This dude was old. Yeah, they had a good roster, but you got to remember, they didn't win that first year. And I think they won a second year. Then the next year, it was just like they fell apart. So let's look at this. And we're going to look at Jordan's accolades, because he still has the most accolades in NBA history. And we're only going to look at his years with the Bulls. And that's when he achieved the most accolades in NBA history, only after 13 seasons. That's incredible. And still, LeBron still hasn't caught this guy. So, of course, you got Rookie of the Year. He was an all-star. All-NBA second team as a rookie, and rookie first team. So, we know Jordan led his team in like 4 statistical categories his first year, something no rookie has ever done, not even Wilt Chamberlain. And I think, yeah, Wilt did have a better year, and I think Wilt would have did it too if they would have counted blocks back at the time. The second season, 85-86, he's not going to have too many accolades because he broke his foot after like what was it, the 4th game or something like that. So this guy still made the All-Star team. He still made the All-Star team. That's ridiculous. I mean, this is how popular he was in his rookie season. And look, I mean, they was taking a big chance on this guy. He just broke his foot. I'm talking about Nike. They're taking a big chance on this guy. He just broke his foot. He might not be able to be Air Jordan no more. He might not be able to be exciting anymore, but he actually came back that same season, and we all know what happened. He lit the Celtics up for 63 in a game and averaged 43 points a game. And some people's going to say right now, oh, man, you eating and drinking. Well, I'm just drinking my coffee. It's early in the morning. So much for that bad foot. The third season, 86-87, All-Star, NBA first team, um, scoring champ, dunk contest winner. Now, he should have been on the defensive first team, and I don't even think he made a defensive first team. And a lot of people say he should have won MVP this year. 37 points a game, over 2 steals a game, a block a game, and I mean the guy was just great, and he couldn't even get that defensive first team or MVP. And people say that the '80s was weak. Okay, we know. I think Magic Johnson won it this year, if I'm not mistaken, or was it Larry Bird? I think I thought it was Magic Johnson, but nevertheless, the next season, 87-88, we know what happened then. All-Star, NBA first team, All-Star MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, the first team All Defense. He won the steals title, dunk contest winner, scoring champ, and MVP. Okay, next season, 88-89, All-Star, NBA first team, NBA first defensive, scoring champ. Look, if you go back and look at that season, we're talking about 88-89, I think he could have won the MVP then. I mean, he put up some crazy numbers, like, I think it was like 30, oh man, what was it, like 32, 34 points a game and 8 and 8. It was crazy, man. 89-90, All-Star, NBA first team, steals title, scoring champ. So, we're talking, look, and then we go into 90-91, NBA champion, finals MVP, All-Star. Oh, no, okay. I thought we was missing All-Star on the last one. So, NBA champion, finals MVP, All-Star, NBA first team defense, scoring champ. 91-92, NBA champion, finals MVP, All-Star, NBA first team defense, scoring champ. I mean, look, I'll tell you this right now. If you think LeBron is this all-around player, and this dude's getting first team defense and winning MVP and winning the scoring title, look, I'm trying to tell you, to do all this stuff, you got to have a motor that nobody else is going to have in the NBA. Okay? And this is a guy that he's not 6'9" and 250 pounds like LeBron. Although I think that might hurt LeBron being so big. I don't think he has the motor that Jordan possessed. I just don't think the guy got too big, especially in Miami. I think he would have stayed about the size he was in Cleveland. I think it would have worked out better for him. But no, nobody had the motor that Micheal Jordan had. And look, he had, I'm trying to tell you, to be the best, he's coming in the league. He's going to have to be better than what Dr. J did, Magic Johnson, Kareem. You look at other players like Wilt Chamberlain in the past, Bill Russell, even though he wasn't a big scoring threat, he was everything else. Larry Bird, bro, he had to be better than what these guys was in their career. Okay? So just imagine LeBron coming into the NBA. Now he's got to be better than all those guys that I mentioned and Micheal Jordan. Okay? Same thing with when Kobe came into the NBA. He wanted to be like Micheal Jordan so bad. But he just, even if we go to Kobe's, third season? Because we say Micheal Jordan didn't come into the league until he was like 21 or something like that. But even Kobe really wasn't on that level. Even if we go to Kobe's third season, yeah, he athletically, yes, he became, about on that level, Micheal Jordan athletically. But as far as like everything else, he just wasn't. I mean, he just wasn't, bro. Um, let's see. So 92-93 NBA champion, Finals MVP, All-Star. We got NBA first team defense, scoring champ, steals titles. So on his three-peat, the first one, he wins a steals title on this one. So homie was still playing at a high level on the third championship of the three-peat. That's incredible. A lot of dudes would have been like, he won a scoring title in a steals title. That's incredible. And if you know Jordan's career, he has 6 straight seasons of 200 plus steals. 200 plus steals. Wow. I mean, that's incredible. So, I mean, when you came up to Micheal Jordan and you had the ball in your hand or you was making a pass, across the court, I mean, you had to be real careful about what you was going to do, because this dude was going to take that ball or he would just, swipe the ball. Were you going up for a layup or something like that? So let's keep going. 95, 96. We're not going to put the year he came back. It wasn't even a full season. He's not going to get any accolades. 95, 96, NBA champion, Finals MVP, All-Star, NBA first team defense, scoring champ, All-Star, MVP. Okay, that kind of looks like that 88 season, right? Except he didn't get, let me see. He didn't get the Defensive Player of the Year or the steals title. But it pretty much looks like the same thing almost. And he didn't win the dunk contest. So 96, 97, NBA champion, Finals MVP, All-Star, NBA first team defense, scoring champion. 97, 98, NBA champion, Finals MVP, All-Star, NBA first team defense, scoring champ, All-Star, MVP. So, I mean, look, nobody has a resume like this, and nobody ever will. LeBron's resume just doesn't stack up. Not saying LeBron's resume isn't good. I try to put these two together at one time. LeBron's is pretty good, but after he left Miami, his defensive teams fell off. The scoring titles, they don't add up. He only has one assist titles. I mean, you would think he would at least have a couple block titles, right? In this weak era, he's 6'9". He's supposed to be this physical freak. I mean, if Jordan was 6'9", he would have had, I think he would have had a couple of block titles. But, Jordan, he didn't need to be 6'9". He did have 100 blocks in 2 seasons in a row, something LeBron never had. Also, LeBron never had 200 steals in a season. Never. Or Kobe Bryant. I mean, Jordan was just on a different level. I know a lot of these guys who never got to see Jordan play. I did. I actually lived in Chicago at one time, and when I was young, and I watched Jordan play, and I watched Jordan play until he shot his last shot in Chicago. I watched every game. I mean, I never missed one Bulls game, probably from about 87 all the way until he retired. I just don't remember missing any Bulls games, whether it was WGN or I think it was something like Comcast something. I forget what channel that was, but they played on 2 different channels. Okay, I never missed a Bulls game. I didn't care what time it was. It was the playoffs, regular season. I'm watching the Bulls game. I saw them get beat up by Detroit. Um, I saw these games, man, and I'm gonna tell you what. Back then, they really never said nothing about stats. I'm trying to tell you, as great as Michael Jordan was, when we went back and looked at his stats, when this GOAT debate started with LeBron and it became about stats, we really didn't know how great Jordan was until we went back and looked at his stats. I mean, because nobody really clamored over it. It's like, yes, they were great, but either you won or you lost. We just looked at his play on the court. We never seen nobody actually move like that, play like that. It was just impossible. The stuff that he did, the way he shot. A lot of people like to look at his dunks and hanging in the air, but man, this dude, he shoots your lights out. I mean, he take the most difficult shots that you're not supposed to be shooting, and they would even tell you that in basketball camps. You can't shoot that way, and Michael Jordan was shooting that way. So, look, Michael Jordan was not human. To me, the dude was not human. And when he first stepped foot into the NBA, he wanted to be the greatest of all time. And on every level, winning dunk contests. I don't think he's the best dunker of all time, but, people thought he was back then because he was doing stuff that people never did. Or he was taking Dr. J's dunk and he was making it look better because, yeah, Dr. J dunked from the free throw line, but he really did do it like Michael Jordan. Dr. J was like 6'9" or something like that, 6'10". So he really didn't get the air that Michael Jordan got and brought his legs up and all this stuff like that. He didn't make it look like Michael Jordan. Nobody could ever make a lot of stuff, dunks and stuff like that, look like Michael Jordan. Yes, there's players that do more difficult dunks, but look, you guys tell me what you think about this one. Jordan still has the most accolades in NBA history. Um, I'm not using, weekly awards and monthly awards. No, that's like kindergarten stuff. That's like participation trophies and stuff like that. I'm talking about real, actual trophies yearly. Um, so I'm gonna just go ahead and leave it at that. Um, Michael Jordan, he's still the greatest, and it shows right here.